guys, guess where me and Miguel are off to? We're looking for a new horse. We had to go on this like intersection thing, okay? And this was still when I was driving. I got into a little accident with a semi. She's telling me like he's autistic, needs major training. I'm like, he's really not gonna be an issue for me. Okay, it was kind of like love at first sight. I'm just gonna go and test ride this thing out. It just happened so fast. Like it was like 24 hours ago. It popped up on Craigslist, and then I sent her an email last night, and then I looked at it this morning and she actually responded. And then I called her and I'm like, what if I just came today? And she's like, I mean, if you want to make the drive, because it's a long drive up here, but we're just gonna see what happens. My expectations for the horse are low, especially after talking to her. I call this lady up and we're on the phone for like 25 minutes, right? And she's telling me like he's autistic, this and this, and like he's got a lot of problems, like everything. So I go there with the expectation of like, okay, he needs major training. And I still went there, right? So we pull up, and I'm not gonna lie, I take one look at him before even riding, and I'm like, you're coming home with me. Okay, it was kind of like love at first sight. Alright guys, so it is around 5 a.m. right now. We've already been driving for a while, but it was obviously dark, so I had to wait to vlog. I'm driving our big rig, and we're hoping to get there around 8 o'clock, so it's gonna get hot out and I want to get the big baby home. So yeah, we're doing good though so far. Okay guys, so I'm not driving right now. Miguel is. This same day I just put this sweatshirt on because I was freezing. But okay, so after we got off of that road that we had to go like 80 miles, then we had to go on another road for like what, 50 miles? So we had to go on this like intersection thing, okay? And this was still when I was driving. And we didn't pick up the horse yet. And I got into a little accident with a semi. We're all good. No one's hurt. The truck is, but we're both fine. We got kind of stuck there for a while. But yeah, it kind of just shook me up. But now I'm fine now, other than I'm traumatized of driving by a semi. But then we got there, we got Cowboy loaded up. The lady ended up getting me a bunch of like free stuff that was like his stuff, so that was really nice. Like feed, treats, minerals, all this stuff, supplements. So yeah, I don't know. It honestly, like, it could have been a lot worse. So, and there was a lot of other stuff about it, but at the end of the day, we're all fine, and we have Cowboy loaded up. You're okay, baby. You're okay. Oh my goodness.
Who is that?
That's your brother. As you can see. Oh, you're fine. Look, you're fine. Are you ready?
Oh my god.
Not them sharing.
They're gonna share.
So
Not
cute.
fight each other.
Before I even threw a leg over him, I'm like, he's not gonna buck me off, okay? And if he does throw a little buck, it's not gonna be bad. She wanted to tack him up, lunge him, ride him, like all herself, and then have me ride him. So I'm like, okay, like I'm just gonna stand back and watch you do this, whatever. So, you know, he's not being the best horse for her, and her big thing was like natural horsemanship, which I'm familiar with the methods of how to train with it, but that's not my way of training a horse. So, you know, I was like respectfully, silently, like not really agreeing with how she was doing it, but that's because I train completely different. I was just kind of observing how she does everything just to know like what he's been able to get away with. And Miguel was with me too, and he's not into all that technical horse training, everything like that, but he's listened to me enough, knows how I judge people, because I do horse judging, so I judge performance and communication between equine athlete and rider, as I would say. But so he was already kind of getting the vibe of how I was feeling, of how she was doing stuff with him. So okay, so she gets off him, untacks him. I brought my own saddle, so I throw my saddle on him, fits him perfectly. And how do I say this? I'm honestly, okay, I love the lady, okay? She even discounted me on his price even more and gave me like such a good little goodie bag when we picked him up. So I'm trying to be very respectful. Horses know who they can get away with stuff with and who they have to actually like listen. So he got my vibes, because as soon as he came walking up to the fence, I'm like, he's really not gonna be an issue for me. So I get on him, you know, he right away wants to walk away as soon as I get on him. Whatever. So here's kind of how that first ride looked like. Yeah, it is. Much more. Okay, so right away you see he wants to go back to the fence by his buddies, but you can't really blame a horse for naturally wanting to do that when they've been able to, basically his whole life. So here I'm trying to get him to walk away, but he was not responding well to that. So I thought, okay, as long as I can just keep forward movement, keep his feet moving. So I allowed him to walk back by the fence, but I did make him keep walking past it, and I think that's when he finally figured out, like, hey, I'm not by my friends. And so he did do a little fight there, but look at that. It wasn't as bad as the first time, so he's already seeing improvement with me. Here I'm trying to neck rein him, he's not really doing it. I didn't really agree with the bit that she had me ride him in. She was normally doing bitless, but for a horse like him, he's got to have some type of bit. I'm all for a hackamore or bitless if the horse can respond well to that, but if not, you might as well put a bit in. So here, as you can see, I'm a very persistent rider. I will continue to ask until I receive what I want from a horse. And so he's just kind of testing the boundaries, keeping forward motion though on him. That was really important, just because he was more of a laid back and lazy horse. Coming back over here, I wanted to see kind of like what his gaits or speed was like, so I got a good decent trot out of him. He was said to be gaited, so that's why if you see his travel looking a little different, that's why. But he did do a little trot for me, so I was happy about it. So I'm not gonna lie, this is one of my first times riding a gaited horse, so I did want to see if I could get a lope out of him, just because the movement did feel weird. He kind of throws his legs everywhere, so I just want to make sure that he did seem sound to me there. But yeah, that was basically my first ride on him. Good boy. Once you get his trot, he's solid then.
Yeah. Oh, he's got it all in him.
So Clayton is more of like my performance, actual like athletic gaming horse. This big boy, I bought him basically off of his looks and sweet puppy dog personality, but look at his mane. Hang on. Okay, so one of his previous owners thought it'd be a good idea to cut his mane. That kind of made me a little mad, not gonna lie, because look at how thick his bangs are. And here's the jackpot. His tail. Like literally, what is that? If a horse has this thick of a tail, their mane is gonna be very long too. So it is like my life mission now to get his mane as long as it can potentially get. Obviously that'll take time, and since he is older, it'll take even extra time, but we're slowly getting there. It's like straight across cut, so now this looks more natural. Personally, I would never cut a horse's mane just because looks are everything to me, and obviously how they can perform. But yeah, two things that caught my eye on the ad were the price and that he's a buckskin. Alright guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this. This is like his forever home. That's what I told the lady. There's really nothing he could do that would make me be mad or sell him. I mean, he literally threw a buck. I don't care. Like, it's just, he could break my arm. I'd still be smiling because look at him. How do you sit? Like, how do you get mad at this? How do you cut this mane? That's the more psychotic question that needs to be answered. Because look at how thick it would be. I don't know. I don't understand some people. But we got him home safely. And he's my baby. And you're never leaving. No. I just love him so much.